Oh, hello, my friends. How are you? Hope all is well. Hope you had a great weekend. I think we're connecting to Facebook. Just seeing things flashing here. So let's make sure this works good before we get too deep. I have an SVG for you this week too. Oh, good. Facebook says I'm live. All right, cool. And we're going to be working with that. Let me just bring it over here so I have it. And I will show you how to get it. I am all about scrapbooking with your Cricut. What's the easiest thing to do and how can the Cricut really help you? It's a great tool. It is. I have two different styles of files that I offer. One is an overlay. Does just what you think it does. It goes over the top of your photos, but it basically gives you everything that you need to do. Hey, Tammy Jo, drive safe. Hi, Marion. And then the other is called a simple, and that goes under your photos. Hey, Jean, Lana, welcome, ladies. Okay, so let's look at what we're doing tonight. Let me get you where I want you to be. And then, whoopsie. Okay, so if you go to, hi Joanne, super simple, caramiller.com, not lots to worry about, right? Go there and you will see, we're the home of SVGs for scrapbookers that don't like to measure. You will hear me say it time and time again. I don't want any 1/4 of an inch anythings or 1/2 an inch some things. So I have, here's a freebie for you tonight, and you'll see why we're doing that one. And then this is a set of 3 more. So if you have a party that you're celebrating or something you want that you've got some photos sitting around waiting, this is a 4-page overlay layout. Now the question I had someone ask me last week was, what's a simple? What is that? Well, if you click here, you'll see a simple really looks like that. And it's kind of like a sketch that turned into photo mats and jumped on your page. So it shows you where to put the photos, mats them, and double mats them. There's two options here. So if you like double matted photos, it's perfect. If not, you can just cut one. And then it's ready for you to add your titles, add whatever you want. This is a 10 bundle. 10? I think it's 10. Of various simples that will coordinate with all of our overlays, okay? All right, so that's what a simple is. Now the overlays are a little bit different. Overlays go in a different version. They include the title, they include spaces for your photos, and probably some embellishments too. So here's the one we're working with tonight. I already cut it out first. Let me get some of this glitter paper stuff that I was trying out. Move you over. So I want to show you, get all the glimmer off here. Okay, so this is the overlay. This is what the SVG cuts. This particular one also has a tiara that fits right here. Now, if any of you noticed in my any of my Facebook stuff posting over the weekend, I said we had a party here. We had a party for my mom who turned 90 yesterday. And of course, she had to have a tiara. I mean, really, who has a party and doesn't get a tiara? So I have some photos that I needed a layout for. So that's what we're working with tonight. But I wanted to show you another thing that I had to do to make this work. With an overlay, you're kind of committed to the way the photos are. With a simple, you can spin it. You can turn it any way you need it to go. So if you don't have vertical photos or horizontal, you have horizontal but not vertical, vice versa, you can spin the simple. With the overlay, you're there. So look back in here for a minute and you'll notice in the party option, I did a couple of different versions. There's a vertical, which actually will work better for this one photo that I have. Hi, Diane. But I didn't cut this one out yet. Here's another vertical. I tend to do a lot of vertical photos, but we had a lot of big groups. We had a big group. So I needed a bigger photo that way. Okay, so think about that when you're looking at overlays. Think about which way they go, right? That's a horizontal. That would work for the photo that I have, but I made this work too. And I was going to show you how. All right, so I cut this out. I tend to cut my overlays out of white, and then I can always do other things with the background paper. It works as a good frame for my photo. Anne told me this morning that she's going to cut a whole bunch of them out because she has a lot of crops coming up. She's going to cut them out ahead of time and use her inks and some shimmer brushes. So these kinds of inks work great. You can use the inks and the little dauber. The shimmer brushes work really well to add color if she needs it. You can stamp on these. You can put stickers and embellishments on top of it. So don't be thinking, oh, it's just so bland, it's just so white. Do whatever you want. You can do lots. You could cut this from pattern paper. The reason I'm really big on solids for this is it doesn't take away from the photo. So the way the overlay works is the photo goes underneath. The photo tucks under here. Now this is a 4x6 photo that I printed. I use a Sprocket photo, which is a photo printer, which is a lot like the selfie. It's just the HP version. So let's talk about these for a minute. Your photos come out with these little, when you print them at home. And I love printing them at home. So let me show you what I did. These are an app, and I can't really show you the app because the camera's in my phone right now. But this is what the photo was. Whoa, get the glare off. This is what the photo that I was working with. We stuck a photo and people ran and got into the picture. This is everybody that was at my mom's yesterday. My kids were there, grandkids were there, spouses, my sister flew in from Virginia. And then this was just one part of it. The day started at 8 o'clock in the morning and different people stopped in throughout the day. So it was a full day. She went to bed early and slept in this morning. But we had a great day. So this is great. It shows everybody. But it doesn't fit this particular layout. So this is going to go on another second page over here. But I wanted this one. So what I did was in my photo printing program, I can go in and turn the photo to the other way. Now I'm going to lose what's on the edges, but in this case I got my mom, I'm in it, my son, his wife, my daughter, and Gracie, and the butterfly. So it's okay. It centers on the party girl, and that's really what we wanted. And notice I have this little one over here. So I then, same photo, I don't have all the photos that we took yesterday, blew up the photo. Now it's not as crisp and as clear as I'd like, but she likes it better because it makes the wrinkles kind of fade. Yeah, smart mom. And so I'm going to make this photo be the one that goes right here. Okay? I couldn't do that if I just sent these all off to the printer and got this printed once. So there's some advantages to sending them off to CVS or Walmart or Shutterfly or one of the places. And then you have a whole stack, but you're then limited. Now, I could crop this one using our tools. And I could take this and I could get very similar to the photo that we're blowing up. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to take this photo for here and this photo with her tiara. It's hard to see in the photo. If you look close, it blends in with her hair. Let me get it up to you. See, she's got her tiara on. It had a 90 on it too. My sister found it. Virginia, I am using the Sprocket one. So I'm not really editing the photos. I'm using the one that came with the printer. I'll put some screenshots up later that show you what it looks like. I don't often do this, but I had cut this out already and I was coming here to show you, and I did not have a vertical photo. I had to make it work. So I'll show you, I'll make a short little video later and show you how that worked. Okay? It's not hard. And I think all the other ones, like the selfie one probably does it. I have an iPhone. I love the sprocket. I don't know if I can bring it over here without unplugging it. Probably not. Let's see. Whoops, hold on. Let me unplug you. This is the sprocket. It works very similar to the selfie. It's not big. I mean, it fits. That's so it's like an 8 by 12 maybe. The photos come out right here. You have to make sure that you have room in the back for it to go through. So they go back and forth 4 times and sits here. Your paper is right here, and your ink is right here. Oh, right, because you don't want it. What happens is you lose the, you want to make sure the proportions stay, so you're not stretching it. So if you stretch it, or, yeah, you can easily make it. That's why we like our templates, so we don't have to do that often. This is your inks, and it comes, I think I have a box of this. I can show you how they come. I'll put the link for the HP after we get done. I'll show it to you. But this is how they come in 2 packages. So this is 80 sheets and 2 cartridges. And it works so that the cartridges are, when you run out of paper, you've run out of ink. Or when you run out of ink, you've run out of paper. So it does work really well. It's not cheap. It's probably close to 50 cents a print. But you're not wasting it because you're printing just what you want. I still send out to Shutterfly, and I still do that so that I can get a good bunch to work with. But this does work. All right, so we've got our vertical one, and then I need to crop this. Now, you've heard me talk about this if you've been here before. I have these templates that I offer. They're in the store, and they are sized to fit the spaces in both my overlays and the simples. So one way you might want to, on a different one, on this one, for example, you might want to use this. This is the, to show you both, this is the template that fits this one. So those 4 corners need 4 photos cropped using this size. So you're going to take your, and even if I had a photo like this, I could print it twice. I could do this one, and then I could use this one to get a nice narrow one to fit. I could print this photo a couple times and split it up by cropping it to fit the spaces in either the overlay or the simple, okay? All right, but today, what I'm working with, I don't want to make this super long because then people don't watch us the whole time. This one, my idea is that I need to get the birthday girl. Sorry, Gracie Kai, gotta pop you out. Hey, Becky. All right, so let's get this part off. And they just fold, and it's on HP paper. And then I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna trim that down. I use long bladed scissors, and I make 3 cuts, and we're done. Super simple to crop, way easier than using any software. That one is going to go right here, and then this one's going to go here. So let's flip this over, and we're going to, I saved these. They were part of the tiara, and now I have little glimmer stuff everywhere. All right, so I'm going to take my adhesive, and I'm going to run it along the top and the bottom, in the middle, and then the same for the space for the smaller one, right? All right, so then, remember I'm on the back side, so I flip this over, I line this up so it's even, flip it over, looky there, right? This one, same thing. Flip it over. Whoops, I gotta come down because I'm missing the tiara. I think that's better. Oh, there we are. There's your tiara. blends in with her hair, don't tell her. And then I've got this one that's going to go right here. So let's put our adhesive on that. This is close to my heart. Glitter paper. Love it. This is the silver. And it cuts on glitter paper. I'll show you the cut in a second. We'll go back into design space. All right, so there's that. And then this has this sweet little confetti section down here. And if you want, I'm going to show you, this is one of the things that pops out. Now, it's all white, right? I could take my ink, I could take my markers, and I could color this in. I could use one of our shimmers, which would look really pretty, and color this. I'm not going to because I want to glue it. So I think what I'm going to do is take this ink. I don't really, Becky, these are Fiskars. So these would have been my good scissors, my sewing good scissors, but I only use them to cut simple stuff. I only use them for this project. I don't use them to cut fabric. I need. We'll go with this. So I'm going to put this down, right? This was what came out when I cut this with the Cricut. This was a throwaway piece in theory. Okay, let's move you over here. So before we get to you, we've got to put this down on our backing paper. Because these have this great, pretty big frame, I can get away with a pattern paper behind it. If I had just popped this down, this picture would have gotten lost in the pattern paper. But because it's got this great, your eye stops here and focuses on the photo. My big thing about anything I do as a scrapbook layout is I want my photos to take front and center stage. So let me just get my trimmer, because remember, Close to My Heart paper comes with this sweet little zipped strip on the top here. There was a little bit of adhesive there. You're just going to trim that off, and you're going to save it as an awesome border for something. Come on, move along, Betty. There you go. Right? So I've got that, which I might put back on here. I don't know. Now I'm ready to pop you right here. So we're going to flip you over again, and we're going to put adhesive all along the this has 4 edges, and this is at 11.49 if you're wondering the size of it. It is the largest piece I can get on a Cricut mat. We were talking the other day about silhouette. I mean, pretty much everyone that's here is a Cricut user because that's what we've been doing for years. But back in the day, I did use a silhouette, and I taught with Cameo software too. So these work. The reason I bring it up is these SVGs will work with any of your machines. I have a customer who uses the Brother Scan and Cut and loves it, and it works well. What you need to do is line up the top or the bottom, either one. You can line up the top or the bottom and make it even, right? And then you just drop the other piece. Just drop it down. Don't try and hold it. And you will see that you end up with a nice even look, right? I am going to put you, I think, down here, right? Ooh, you might look good up here. Oh, no, you look better up here. So I'm going to take this zip strip and pop it up here. I also save them if I don't really like them, and I'll find a home for them on another layout. They coordinate. Usually they will come with colors that coordinate with whatever pattern paper pack they came out of. Okay, and then remember I have this little piece right here. I happen to, I have been a Cricut fan for a long time. I'm still a Cricut fan. And I haven't purchased anything else. I think it's kind of whatever you get used to. I'm going to use some of our little foam dots here on the back of this piece. And now I'm going to put this back in where I popped it out, but I'll show you what's going to look cool. It's going to give it a little dimension. Now remember, this is going to go in a pocket protector, a page protector. So this is going to go right back in here, but it's going to be up, and I'm going to move it just a little. So it adds a little something to the party excitement. I have this one that came out. I could pop that back in if I wanted in a different color so that you can do more. These pieces came out of my tiara here, and they could go over here if I wanted some extra glimmer. But I think it's whatever machine you get used to. It's those of us that swear by Apple, and others are happier with Androids. So it depends on you and what you want. I have this whole section to use as my journaling space. If you don't feel like, oh, can never write a straight line, that's going to be super crooked, we could go into Design Space and make something that would fit here. So let's go do that for a second, and I can show you how that works. But this is how simple this layout was to put together. Right? Super simple. You want to add more to it, you can always add more. You could stamp along here, which would look kind of cool. You could write along there. You could add squiggles from other stamp sets. Like, just think out, keep going. Don't just think, oh, it's really kind of plain. And for me, it isn't plain. I am a clean and simple graphic. I want my photos to stand out. Okay? All right, cool. So let's go into Design Space for a minute. Let me just get my computer over here. All right, so in Design Space, you notice I have this background paper here. I bring this in all the time, and you probably get sick of me saying it. I bring this 12 by 12. This is just a square from the basic shape section, and I turn it into a color, make it 12 by 12, and pop it in the back. Notice Cricut won't cut if I leave this open, so you can just turn it off. The reason I do that is it helps me see what my layout's going to look like, and do I need something? Can I bring more in? I could have brought a title in here if I wanted to. Lots of things I can do. This is how it comes in. I'm going to ungroup, and I'm going to take my tiara out. So what we were talking about, this is where you're going to journal. So you're going to bring your text in, and you're going to do Mom's 90th birthday. Did I not spell that right? Why is it doing that? Oh. Birthday party. February 27, 2022. All right. Then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to choose a different font. I'm going to go with Cricut because I want writing fonts. So I'm going to say filter. I want a writing one. And I could be here all day picking. I'm going to go with this one for now. Notice Cricut changes it, but notice it doesn't look like it's hooked together like you would write it. It looks like you were very herky-jerky. So we're going to go up here and change our letter space. And as you bring them together, you will see that the letters get closer and closer. There's certain ones that you love, certain ones you don't. I have not tried the foiling pen yet, Becky. I've used the foil, I thought it was in here. This one. I use this. Is that what you mean? Or is there something I'm missing? I liked this. This was really cool. I did it at Christmas time on some cards. Super pretty. But I haven't done it. I haven't done it lately. I think it might be time to pull it out again. Yeah, it's cool. It leaves a really nice look. It would be really pretty on this to foil this. Yes. I could still go down a little bit more, and you keep going till you get it so it looks the way you want it. So the letters look like you actually wrote them. That's too much. And you just kind of keep playing with it till it looks right. Okay? Cool. Then you're going to bring it down here. And I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm afraid that the date might not work. See how it looks kind of funky? The date doesn't really work. I got to get it so tiny. So double click. Brings it back up. I can just delete the date from there. I can put that somewhere else. And I can put this down here. Now I could use a text. I could use, options really. You could be here all day trying to pick the right one. Get it so it's going to write where you want it, right? That one's not going to work. Need it a little smaller. Keep playing till you get it where you want it. Those Y's are kind of tricky. That works. Okay. Select everybody. And attach. So now Cricut's going to write that right there. I don't have to come back and do it. That's one way to do it. All right. What if you don't have any glimmer and you don't want to cut this out? Here's an opportunity where, as Becky said, could we try the foil? It would look great. So I'm going to change that here to a foil layer. Do I have the fine, the medium? I'm probably going to go with bold because I want it to look pretty big. It's gold, but remember, Cricut's not going to know what color foil I put down. I'm going to bring that over. Whoops, bring it to the front. I have to arrange. And bring that in. Get it where I want it. I think it's got to go up a little. Select. And attach. And now, when I send this to the mat, look what happens. Cricut is so smart. It knows that I'm going to use a pen, the bold foil, and a basic cut. Why is it saying that it needs to be 24? I think it's not happy with this, the way the Y's are. To be perfectly honest, I probably wouldn't use this font. I'd probably go back in and change it. I don't really like the way those Y's are coming down. So I would probably use a font that doesn't have the descending Y, all caps maybe would look better. But you can play. But the reason it's doing this is it thinks it's bigger. So this is probably going to go off the edge a little or get cut when Cricut goes to cut it. If you don't have a larger mat, you say okay and let it go ahead. It'll still be happy. All right, so back to the beginning. So that's one way. Let me undo here for a bunch and get back to where we were before we added all these things to it. Another option that you can do when you start playing with these, remember it was like this. This was here. We ungroup and we move it over. What if I wanted different color banners, but how do I get those? Well, I could color them, literally color them with my markers. That's easy enough, especially if you're using the white. Or I can bring in my shape. This is what I was talking about, Virginia, when I said you want to keep things in proportion. So if you, let me bring in a different shape. we're talking about 100 different things here. Sorry, I'm hopping all over the place. Let me bring in an image. I was looking at Melody's images today. Remember, I showed you these last week. Cricut has given us these awesome and sweet little Melody Lane tribute images. So let's say I have this guy, and I think, oh, well, I want him a little bit taller. If I unhook this and pull it, I make him really out of proportion. And that's what's happening with your photos, is you're making them out of proportion. If you make sure that you keep your proportions locked, you can get it wider and taller. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. So that's where a cropping tool comes in handy. You can go in and crop just the piece that you need. Design Space doesn't offer us cropping. Design Space offers us the square. So I can make this any shape that I want, and I could crop parts of it. So I could get maybe just the head. Sorry, little bug. Sounds terrible that I'm cutting you out, right? If I wanted just the head a certain size, I could do that. Okay. That's what proportion means and why you want it to be the right proportion. So, back to what we were going to do here. I'm going to use this as a slicing tool. I am going to unlock it, and I'm going to take it up here, and I'm going to make sure that it covers just the top part of my overlay. Okay? I'm going to select it, and I'm going to slice. What's going to happen is, get rid of you. I don't need you. I don't need you, because I've already copied this. Don't do this to your original. And now I have 2 of these. I'm going to cut each one, and then I'm going to go ahead and just use my trimmer and trim. I'm going to cut this out of pink and this out of blue or whatever. Use my trimmer, snip them off, and I've got a whole bunch of flags, and I can put these pennants on my banner any way I want. So, see what I mean? Jelly bean, you could do more with it. Please remember to copy your original. Now, what if I didn't? What if I hadn't cut the original and I sliced it and then went, oh, I forgot to cut you first? Easy enough. Go back to your upload, bring that one back in, and add it to the canvas. Okay? Super easy. So, nothing is undoable, right? It can be fixed. All right, we'll have some fun with that. And then if you notice in these uploads, I have the other ones so that you can see them. This one is similar, but what I did with this one is to give you lots of spaces for cameos and candids of the people at the party. So you have 3 big, and then this is a 3x4 here in the middle. Plus, you can always use these spaces for photos if you want. You can always pop something in there. You could pop a journaling square in here, a tag. You could put just a piece of paper behind it. The piece that gets cut out when you cut these, let me show you what got cut out of the one we used tonight. So when I cut this out, right, I ended up with this piece. This would be a perfect journal. So if I said, well, I don't really have a great picture here, I'm just going to pop you right back in, and I'm going to write and stamp and do my stuff on here. Can you slice the bottom corner off? Sure. This one? Yes, I'll go back in and do that. You also got, this, which is kind of cool. This was up here, this way. That was there. But this would look cool on a different layout. Maybe not with this piece here, but maybe you could use that. You could use this if you were trying to make this an ocean one and slide these under here. So the reason I want you to look beyond just what you think you see is there's so many more options. Okay, so Diane wants to slice the bottom part off. All right, we can do that. We're going to do the same thing. I don't need 25 of these. Let's get rid of you. Bring you. And bring you. Okay. So you want this part out. Do you want to keep this photo option? Or do you think you might want to use that somewhere else? I'll start working on it. So I'm going to grab a shape. I usually go with a square. It just works the best for me. So let's say you want to try, you want to get this part away. You don't want this part in there. You want it to be the tiara and the banner, but not the party part, not the confetti part. So if you don't want the confetti part, I'll show you two different ways. If you don't want the confetti part, you're going to do something like I have right here. You're going to come up here. You're going to say slice. And we're going to take this over here. So we're okay, but we got to fix this gobbledygook here that we have going on. Looks like a scary little face. So I'm going to bring another shape in again. And I'm going to bring that in. And I'm going to put it in here. Line it up. Make this a little bit smaller. I need it that short, but I need it a little wider. It's fussy, but you can do it. And then select and slice. And then get you out of here, and you, and you, and you. See, now we've got this nice, the confetti's gone. But this looks kind of, I need something there, right? It looks a little weird. So I'm going to come back over to shapes. I'm going to get myself another square. I'm going to bring it over. Line this up nice and straight. Make sure it's within my space. Only this time I'm going to weld it. I'm not going to slice it because I want to smooth that out. And I'm going to say weld. And now I have that. Is that what you meant? Did I do what you wanted? The other way you could do it, if that just made your head hurt, is you could take your... Perfect. Okay, so you could slice that. Another way you could do it, if that makes your head hurt, is cut this out and then take your scissors or your trimmer and literally just cut, 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 and smooth this off with your snips. So options. You could make the software do it, or you could do it yourself. You could also take a photo and just pop it right on the top of that and cover that up. You could, grab Gracie here, you could grab this and you could cover this up with a photo if you had a full-size photo, right? You could do that. You could have an embellishment that would fit right over this. So lots of options to make these your own. I am so excited to see what you guys are doing. I love it when you post them. Thank you for sharing them. I love what you do with these. It makes me feel really good when I see that you actually used it and it worked and you're all set. All right, everybody, have an awesome week. I'll be back. I'm sure there will be overlays and simples popping up in the classroom. Well, sorry, not the classroom, it's the store. All week long. Notice that if you want to join the March membership that gives you free files, a crop, we're meeting twice. We're talking about color and choosing colors this month. If you want to do that, that is still available. You can join that at any point, and it's in the classroom. I said that again, didn't I? It's in the store, only it's right here under the monthly SVGs. And you'll click on that, and it will tell you what you're going to get. If you click on Show Me More, It tells you all the things that you're going to get. Okay? So that's an option. If you're not in with us yet, and I think I frightened some of you last week, and I frightened myself when I said that I was going to close the classroom. I am. I'm not going to be adding classes to it anymore. But good news, I got clarification. If you are already enrolled in a class, it will still be there. So you don't need to freak out. I don't know for however long. I mean, I don't know. But at the moment, it's there. So no need to worry. I would still, as you see things that you love, I would download it and save it. Because things are forever, but forever in internet land is kind of different than forever in our real lives. So anyway, no need to freak out. Nothing's going away. I'm just not adding any more to the classroom these days. I'm doing it here. Have a great week. I'll see you all soon.